All right. Hello again, everybody. So today we're going to start with a little bit of movement and stretching before we sit down for meditation. So go ahead and stand up. Hopefully you can hear me from there. But yeah, you can kind of just do whatever comes into your body, whatever you feel like doing. Just really listening to your body and just stretching whatever you want, whatever feels good, whatever your body needs. I don't know about you, but during this time, I think it can be easy to do a lot of sitting. I think we usually sit a lot anyway, but maybe even more now. So just really paying attention to your body, bringing your attention into your body, feeling the sensation of each stretch. And starting to slow down your breathing. As you do each stretch, whatever kind of stretching you're doing, when you breathe in, just imagining that you're sending your breath to that part of your body. In yoga, sometimes they'll say, imagine that you have lungs in that part of your body and that you're breathing into them. I'm also a really big fan of sighing, of taking a deep breath in and sighing it out, as you may have noticed. So I'm going to invite you to do that with me while we're stretching, whatever stretch you're doing. Just taking a big in-breath in and sighing it out. And as I do this, I'm often imagining that I'm releasing any built up stress or tension, anxiety. I'm imagining breathing it out, but also breathing it down. Like I kind of imagine breathing it out my feet and feeling more grounded every time I sigh like that. So again, deep breath in and sighing out. You can kind of shake out your legs and arms too. A deep breath in and sighing out. Really letting go of whatever you've been focused on, whatever's going on in the news, whatever you're reading on social media, whatever you're going to do later, and just kind of pulling in all these different strands of energy from your life and into this moment. So I'm going to do one more thing, which is just kind of bounce up and down a little bit and shake your arms and legs. I know I'm going to look ridiculous doing it, and that's just part of it. So when you're doing this, we're going to keep sighing. So deep breath in and sighing it out. And just letting yourself kind of bounce and move around weirdly. Deep breath in and sighing it out. Really feeling yourself get more grounded, release any stuck energy in your body. And letting yourself come to stillness. As you stand here, you can visualize in your mind that there are these roots that are coming out of your feet. I can't remember if I did this last time, but we're going to do it now. So you can imagine that there are these roots that are growing out of the bottom of your feet. And really see if you can get detailed with it. Imagining the color of the roots, the thickness, the texture. In your mind, really seeing the roots reaching down into the earth, out of your feet. Maybe they also come out of your hands and go down into the earth. And with each out-breath, you're sending these roots deeper down into the earth. And you can imagine that the roots go down so deep that they reach the core of the earth. Maybe they keep going and they break out the other side of the earth. But just feeling a sense of connectedness to the earth, groundedness. And imagining that with each out-breath, you could send out any tension, any stress, any negative energy out the bottoms of your feet, through these roots, and into the earth. And the earth actually acts as a vacuum, and it helps to suck these energies out. Just imagining that that's possible. All right. So go ahead and take a seat. If you have a meditation cushion, you can sit on that. If that's not comfortable for you, you can sit in a chair. I recommend sitting up for this. Maybe in some other session of this, I will do a guided laying down meditation. But not today. So just for your reference, if you didn't watch the first week, the couple of videos that I sent out the first week, they have a lot of beginning meditation instruction, and I'm not going to go over that today. So if that is something that you need, please look at the last email that was sent out from the Wellness Center, which was, when was that? Friday before last, maybe? Or, I don't remember. Recently. Okay. So, just continuing to ground yourself. I think in this time of self-isolation and, really there being a lot of unknowns, that a lot of us might be discovering, maybe for the first time, if you don't typically meditate, how wild the mind can be. In Buddhism, they often talk about the mind as a wild elephant. I like to use the analogy of a puppy. But most of the time in our normal, everyday lives, most of us do things all day long that keep our minds occupied, either working and then, doing whatever you do after work. And we actually avoid stillness. We get addicted to doing and thinking, to ideas, to existing in the world of ideas, which is a beautiful world to be in sometimes. To consciously enter into that world is a beautiful thing. But most of us are actually addicted to it in some way. And we resist being present. Because when we slow down, get grounded, focus on the breath, we actually have to encounter ourselves. These days, meditation is being sold as relaxation techniques. And it can be. It can be that. And ultimately, if you pursue it, make it a lifelong practice, ultimately it leads to a less reactive state of being. Peace, a sense of peace, is easier to access. It's easier to quiet the mind, to have compassion for the self. All of that's true. But a lot of people think they can't meditate. I hear it all the time. I tried meditation and I can't do it. And it's just a sign that you haven't received proper instruction, and you think that you're supposed to feel relaxed. But what this is, what we're doing right now, and what we're going to do for the next, 20 or so minutes, is we're just creating a space for you to just be as you are. Yes, we use the breath as the anchor for our attention. So however you want to do it, whichever way that I presented last time that you prefer, you can follow the sensation of the breath in and out. And any time that you notice you've been lost in thought, and you might go 5 minutes, you might go 10 minutes, thinking about something, anything, everything, and then finally come out of it and be like, oh, I've been thinking this whole time, not even paying attention to my breath. Incredibly common. Anytime you notice that, you just acknowledge it, and then gently return your attention to the sensation of your breath. So yes, we are doing that. That is the core of meditation practice, of this particular type of meditation, which is some combination of concentration, mindfulness, and insight meditation. So yes, we are doing that as the core practice. But if you've been lost in thought for minutes at a time, maybe even most of the meditation, if you have one moment, let's say we meditate for 20 minutes, and at minute 19, you realize, oh, I haven't been listening to him talk at all. I haven't been paying attention to my breath. But you notice it, that is a moment of mindfulness, and you've just had a successful meditation experience. So what one of my teachers always says is, if you can just have that one moment, then you did it. Good for you. You gained awareness of what you were doing in the present moment. And some days, even for experienced meditators, it's like that. The mind is just going wild. Other times, not so much. And it can be really peaceful and can feel expansive. So yeah, just putting that out there at the beginning here. So just bringing your attention to your breath. Seeing if you can let yourself relax into the present moment. Whatever is present. If it's silence and calm, then relax into that. If it's wild mind, tense body, relax into that. Just let it be the way that it is. And bring your attention back to your breath. I really like the metaphor of the awareness, or our awareness, being like the ocean. And on the surface of the ocean, well, the surface can be a bunch of different ways. It can be calm and serene, with no waves, no boats, nothing, just peacefulness. Or it can be treacherous and wild, storms happening, gigantic waves. There can be tons of ships sailing by. And that's just like our minds and emotions and bodies. All of that is on the surface. Our minds, emotions, bodies can be calm and relaxed, or they can be tense and wild. But it's all just surface activity. And in meditation practice, we're becoming aware of surface activity, and we're sinking deeper down into the depths of the ocean, where there's just seemingly endless space in every direction. And it's still, silent. And in meditation, it's really about cultivating this part of ourselves, that we have this open, spacious awareness, we have access to this part of ourselves that's actually separate from thought. And it's still and quiet and just simply observes what's happening non-judgmentally. That is its natural function. So even as we sink down into the deep ocean where it's still and silent, we can still see the surface activity in the distance. It's still up there. The mind is doing whatever the mind is doing. The emotions are doing whatever they're doing. We're still having sensations. Maybe you have a cat walking around you and messing with cords next to you. But that's all just surface activity. So we're just letting it be as it is. Noticing that that too is part of the present moment. So to avoid that would also be, or to avoid facing that and acknowledging that, whatever that is in this moment, whatever your mind, emotions, and body are doing, to avoid what they're doing, would be to avoid what's present. And meditation is actually supposed to be the opposite of avoidance. It is a turning toward reality. It's not an escape into a fantasy. And if you want, you can go find plenty of guided meditations on YouTube that are like that. And that can be useful. Serves a purpose. But traditional meditation is not like that. It's entirely about encountering yourself and what's true, what's real and what's true in this moment. So just noticing where you're at right now. Acknowledging what's present. And then bringing your attention back to your breath. In some ways, I view meditation as a cleansing process or purging. It's like squeezing water out of a rag. There's something about sitting down upright and trying to maintain this relaxed alertness, trying to be present, that it brings all of our stuff up to the surface. Maybe it doesn't this time for you. You might meditate for a year, 2 years, and just have that peaceful, calm experience. And that's great if you do. But most likely, for most people, eventually, it'll start to bring your stuff up to the surface. it'll show you how wild your mind truly is, how critical of yourself you truly are, how cruel you can be to yourself. Whatever you fear or avoid most, all of that comes up eventually. And so if any of that does come up for you, it really is like squeezing water out of a rag, where you're purging that stuff. That stuff is coming up to come out. It's coming up to be faced, acknowledged, seen in compassionate awareness. And that's actually a huge part of what meditation is about. And so if you're going to do this regularly, it's a great idea to have somebody that you're working with, a therapist, a meditation teacher, coach of some kind. Can be helpful. So right now, just bringing your attention back to the sensation of your breath. Bringing your attention to your body. Just feeling the weight of your body. Noticing what it feels like. The quality of being embodied. And taking up space in the room that you're in. And just bringing your attention to your senses. Your sense of hearing. Noticing the silence around you. just slowly coming out of it, stretching if you need to. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope this was useful for you. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions about meditation, mindfulness, or anything like that. All right. Thank you.